and welcome back. Today I thought we'd do something a little different. I thought we'd take a look at some free motion thread painting and some of the ways that I use that make it quick and easy and eliminates a lot of the problems like draw up and distortion. All you need for this is an embroidery hoop, your regular sewing thread, and your free motion foot on your regular sewing machine. So what we need to start with is a picture from the internet or one that you've taken yourself, but one that has very clear edges. And I chose the Chickadee because they're very distinct color patches and because everybody is familiar with this little bird. Now to start, what we do is we trace it onto a piece of simple interfacing. This is a sample of a finished product, and you can see it's on interfacing, and behind the interfacing I have a piece of tulle, just standard netting. Between the two, this provides enough structure to hold the embroidery work that you're going to be doing on this bird. And this is how we set it up. We take a regular embroidery hoop, and we place the tulle first, and then we place the bird we're going to be stitching, and then we lock it into place. Now how this is different from regular embroidery you would use the drum side up and you would stitch through it. With machine embroidery we have the drum, the firm part, up against the needle bed. So we're going to take this and we're going to take our picture and we're going to go to the sewing machine. Okay, we're going to start with the color black, which I already have in my machine. And this is standard quilting thread. And I'm using a top stitch needle because it's stronger and it handles the thicker threads without shredding very nicely. So, at the beginning, we're not going to try to fill it in solid. We're just going to scribble it, outlining as we go, and just establishing where the borders are of this section. And if you don't follow your line exactly, it doesn't matter. Now you can see we're not filling it in solid at the beginning, but one thing that's important to note is in order to have this look realistic, you need to have your lines following the pattern of the feathers. If you're doing it with birds or you're doing an animal, you need to follow the line in which the fur and the feathers lie. So across the top of the head, the feathers are lying this way, but when we get to the lower portion, they're going to go down the front of the bird, and we need to change the direction of our stitches accordingly. So we can put a little more color in. So the important thing is not to stay too long in any one spot. Keep moving, and that way you won't get an unexpected buildup of thread. Alright, so that's enough black for now. We're going to come back to it at the end when we put some highlights in. We're going to switch to another color, and I thought I would tackle the two large patches here that are shades of tan or beige, depending upon where this chickadee lives in your country. Now again, paying attention to the direction that the feathers lie. Right, you can see that the top stitching needle is forming holes in this very thin material, but since you're going to be stitching past the holes, as you fill it in, it will hide them. And if you go over into the other section, that's not critical either, because the next color you could put down in there will blend into the edges. So we'll change colors, and we're going to do the same for all the different areas. Alright, so here we are with our finished chickadee. Now, what are we going to do with this? What you can do next is you take a very, very fine pair of scissors and you can cut it out. And then that can be placed on anything you like, whether it be on an art piece or whether it be on a piece of clothing. All you have to do now is you can either hand stitch it or zigzag or blind stitch it onto whatever it is you're going to ornament. Now if you cut the odd piece of thread around the edge, it doesn't really matter because this is not a seam, so it's not going to come undone. And as you stitch it by hand or stitch it, you can catch all those extra. If at this point you want to do a little more thread painting, once it's attached to whatever it is you're putting it on, you can go ahead and do some more stitching on it. Fill in the branch a little deeper if you want. Add a little more highlight, a few more colors to the leaves, and it will not draw up or distort anymore. Alright, so there's our chickadee. So I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration, and we'll do more together. See you next time. Bye-bye.